Question 1. In what ways does your media product use, develop or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? After researching various genres corresponding with openings to different films, we as a group decided to pursue the genre thriller. We reached this decision by watching very different openings to very different genres of films, and we all concluded that the thriller genre films always had the most effective openings, using their given codes and conventions to establish an immediate interest within their audiences. We began researching into the thriller genre and its codes and conventions and listed these ideas that we could incorporate into the opening of our supposed final product. We initially realised that thrillers have very specific subgenres, however, such as disaster, psychological, crime and techno. Due to our restrictions, both financially and time-wise, we were unable to imagine ourselves creating an effective, professional and believable disaster or techno thriller like 2012 for Disaster or The Terminator for techno. So we were left with a psychological and crime thriller. From our research, we liked elements of both, but however we preferred the psychological subgenre on the whole, so we decided to create the opening of a psychological thriller as it was the most gripping and stimulating within the audience. More importantly, however, we also made this decision through the use of audience feedback. We handed out questionnaires to people of different age and social groups, requiring them to select their favourite genres of films and the subgenres within them. As producers of the films, we realise it is the audience that comes first in terms of right and wrong and what they wish to see on the market. They filled out the questionnaires and the results came to that the majority of people selected the thriller genre and the psychological as its subgenre. We did this through the use of a variety of media and mediums, such as printout questionnaires, surveys on websites such as Facebook and Twitter, and through the use of email and other internet resources. We understood and still understand that this is an important aspect of pre-production and the construction of a product, using a variety of the media and mediums within them to gain insight and achieve our goals and receive this feedback. Audience feedback was arguably the most important aspect of our decision to make the product a thriller, being the most important aspect of our decision making as the entire production, which is demonstrated here in these pie charts. So we looked into various openings of psychological thrillers. We looked at David Fincher's Seven and its opening titles, as shown here, Joel Schumacher's Phone Booth and Christopher Nolan's Memento, and many other films including I Am Legend, The Departed and Swordfish. We believe that it is clear from our final product that we have taken elements from each of these films and incorporated them into our opening. The titles from Seven, as shown here, are very similar to the ones in the trial. The similar suspense and psychological aspects of Phone Booth and the time distortion of Memento. Here are our credits as displayed here. Very similar to that as Seven, as displayed here. Notable conventions that we have used are elements like threat, death, emotion from our characters, gunshots as about to be displayed here, and smashing glass, and arguably the use of mild profanity, damn. And at one point in the screenplay there was one use of the F word to provoke shock, but we later removed this from the final product for a number of reasons, although it would have been preferable to keep it in the opening in my opinion. During the colour grading stages of the film, we gave it a unique grain and certain shots to provoke a certain grubbiness and darkness within the audience and to the character before them. We also made the lighting of the scenes very neutral and quite bright, so it felt like an average day for an average guy, but obviously not for long. Other conventions that would apply to the opening in the film as an entire narrative is the idea of an everyman in extraordinary and dangerous circumstances. This also links to social groups and how they are represented.